Hey guys, it's Talia and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I decided to film my top movies and TV shows to watch on Netflix. Go ahead and grab your little snacks and your coffee or your tea because I got my tea over here, so I'm really excited to share you guys thoughts on these TV shows and the movie. If you guys are new to my channel, hello, welcome to my channel. If you guys are not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe down below. Just hit that red button, notification bell, so you won't miss any videos. And that is pretty much it, guys. Start off with movies, and I do have a list of 20, and by order the ones that I feel like I did really. The first movie that I recommend is called Feel the Beat. Love that movie. It's so amazing. It's about a character named April who follows her dreams. She worked really hard to become a great dancer at Broadway. She worked really hard when she was little until now. She is trying to move to New York and competitions, just to get in and get her part as the big star. Things don't turn out the way she wanted, but she did work really hard to get there. April goes to this audition and she performs so well with her dancing skills. She got picked, and the director was gonna come in and meet the people who were selected for the audition, and had a little accident with her. I was trying to get the taxi, and for some reason both fighting for the cab, and she said she had an emergency, so it's life or death. Kind of like pushed the lady to apologize, like what happened in the morning where she tried to get a cab. It was raining and she was late for the audition, and she was trying to be on time, but she didn't know that lady worked in the audition. So yeah, April blew it. Now she was getting kicked out of her apartment. She had an eviction letter saying that if she don't pay rent, she gotta move out. She moved back home with her dad in this really small town. She works in New Hope dance studio. She helps the younger girls to compete with other dancers, and they work really hard to rehearsal. It's like a really cute movie. It's more like a family movie, I'll say. The next movie that I recommend is called Brain on Fire. Brain on Fire is like really good, guys. It's about Suzanne who medical problems, and she went through a hospital with seizures. She goes through hospital visit, diagnosed, and she had like medical problems. Basically tried to find a way to give her a chance to rebuild her life and be more open to the world and be more free without any problems. This brain problems, they try to find ways to make her cover and rebuild her life, and she goes through a really hard moment, and it's really sad, and doctors will find ways to help her to get cured, and it's like the doctors are not giving up, on her. They will find a way. Suzanne is a very strong character. She has a good heart. Little does she know, it's like she doesn't realize that there is hope and there is miracles and God is watching, and it's like she will get back. I did cry a little bit throughout this movie, but it's just so amazing, guys. I truly recommend that movie. The third movie that I recommend is called Don't Listen. Oh my gosh, this movie is really good, guys. This is more like a supernatural horror movie about two parents who and they buy homes to remodel and sell it for a good profit. Parents move to this huge enormous house where the child is so excited. He picked out his room and he loved the house, and there was a pool in the backyard. There was acres of land. They were still doing constructions, remodeling here and there at the house. In this case, the boy, I think it's Eric, he'd been hearing voices in his head. Basically, there were spirits in the house, and the young boy will hear things and tell him what to do. It kind of control his mind. Basically, the parents thought that he needed some help and that he can chat with to see what's going on. The son will play with the radio. He will walkie-talkie with his dad, and the walkie-talkie there's like voices in there. One night the boy disappeared and his parents were trying to look. The boy ended up in the pool. What happened to the boy until their parents discover more. I don't want to say much, guys, but it's a really good movie. The fourth movie that I recommend is called Russ Creek. Oh my gosh, this movie is so good. About this young girl who gets a phone call about a job interview, and she was so pack her things, you know, ready to go, puts it in the car, and then she starts driving. She types in her GPS and the road was like close, so she takes the other route. It's lost. So she saw there was like a little bridge. She crossed over the bridge. Well, she was kind of in the middle of the bridge. Those two guys were like standing there, like they were just spying on her, and she was looking at her phone. There was not even no signal. She reversed back. She started driving and to drive furthermore, and she stopped. So because obviously the GPS is useless, gets out her car and opens up her map, and those two guys that were standing out there in the front of their house that they were driving, and they stopped. They literally stopped. Asked the young girl, "Are you okay? Are you lost?" "Oh, I'm fine. I'm not lost. I'm just looking." Obvious that she was lost because she was looking at the map. The expanded throughout the hood of her car. If you want to come over to the house, have a little drink, you know, take a little night off because it's getting dark. And she said no, and they would not leave her alone. They were like perverts. They were like scary dudes. So she obviously she was very, very frightened, and she was trying to escape in that area. And it's like so good, guys. I like really recommend that movie. The fifth movie that I recommend is called Someone Great. It's about this young character named Jenny, dumped by a long-term relationship boyfriend. As friends, this really outrageous adventure in New York before her friend moves back to San Francisco. The acting is like really great in this movie. How they work, her boyfriend that been together almost forever. She saw like it's not an end of the world. She is gonna have a good time and make the best of it. It's not the only person in the world. There's people out there. You just gotta be open, have a great night with her friends, and make the best of it. Has its little cliches, but the cast has really impaled chemistry. Definitely pull it off. But it's so good, guys. I really recommend it. The next movie that I recommend is called Napoli Ever After. That movie is so good, guys. It's about this character named Violet Jones who has this perfect life, perfect home, perfect hair, thanks to her mother. Flashback when she was a kid, like her mom said her hair is very important. You gotta keep it nice and neat. Paint her hair so good, like it's so beautiful. One day her husband, they had like an argument. Can you try not to be perfect? Argument, like just be you, be natural, you know. She would not go outside without her being done. She went out and she was pretty drunk, and that night she was shaving her hair off and some hair spots, you know. Morning she woke up screaming, upset that she cut her own hair. She went in the office and people were just staring at her like what happened to her hair. She started crying. Went to the salon and her hair was like burning. Like this girl was just like playing with her hair, and she started storming, yelling at the young girl like, "You ruined my hair," and so on. It doesn't matter what type of hair it is, you should love yourself. It's a really good movie and I truly recommend it. The next movie that I recommend is called Tallulah. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's about this young girl named Tallulah. She was dating this guy, Nico. They got in a huge argument, and Tallulah, Nico's mother's house, and asked like, "Where is Nico?" And the mother was asking like, "Are you here for money?" And she stayed quiet. So basically she's like, "I just need to know where's your son." So the mother doesn't tell her where her son is at. It was in a hotel she was staying at. She noticed that there's a mother who was very irresponsible, doesn't really pay attention to her daughter. Pretty drunk, the mother. So the baby was like crying and she hold her. She had an idea like to take her mother's baby, vanish with the baby. She pretends that it's her own. So she goes back Nico's mother's house and knocks and saying, I have a baby, and oh my gosh, that's a huge responsibility. So Tallulah was asking, I was asking the mother, where is Nico? Because, you know, that's her daughter, which is not her baby at all. The action mother woke up and without her baby. He reported to the police. Now they're looking for the baby and the girl who took the baby. It's a really good movie, guys. I really recommend it. This movie that I recommend is called The Kissing Booth. There's part 1 and part 2 on Netflix right now. So it's about these two lovely characters, Ellie, Noah. Really good connection to each other. They liked each other and to confront her crush. It's more like a teen romantic comedy to like spit out her crush, and they decide to do this really fun kissing booth game. Blindfold and you kiss the person without knowing who that person is. Best friend, he has a huge crush on his best friend, so it's like really like a cute movie. I really recommend it, guys. It's so cool. There's part 1 and part 2 on Netflix if you guys want to watch both. Next movie that I recommend is Hillbilly. Oh my gosh, this movie is like so sad. Like, it's good at the same time, but it's like so sad because you will cry throughout this movie. The most interesting, heartfelt story ever, guys. Performance with the Glenn Close and drug abuse, like physical, emotionally type of movie where they come from, you know. JD, he grew up in a very weird type of environment. The boys from I forgot the hometown, but it's a really small hometown. It kind of reflects back to his story, memories from her, like she had problems with drugs. And JD, he will like work so hard to go to school, to law school. He will do anything to get there and in school to graduate and move on his life. And mother's boyfriends will like hit her, and he loves her mother to death, will defend her. He had enough, so he left her mother and he left the whole town behind mother and try to get help. And obviously his sister moved on too, but I feel like ever since JD left, her sister continued helping her mother and not let her behind. She had kids, a husband. JD had no kids, no wife, but you know, the sister needed help with the mother. And but it's really good, guys. I truly recommend it. Next movie that I recommend is called Rebecca. Rebecca is such a good movie, guys. She was staying at a hotel where she helps this lady make her what to do, like run some errands, clean up a little, and dry cleaning and all that. So he met this guy, Axiom, at the hotel, little breakfast here and there, and sneak out behind Adam's bag. So basically she would go out, rides with him, and go out to breakfast, dinners, and he will pay for everything for her. Propose to her and asks if he wants to be married with him and move with his little royal castle. Came Miss De Winter, and she started living there. And obviously the person, the maid, Miss Danvers, she was working for house. Mr. De Winter, he was married before. Miss Danvers didn't like that. He met De Winter had a new wife and who's basically in charge of the house. Will try to find ways to get rid of her. Can't keep the house because it was basically her niece that should have that perfect. A really good movie, very mystery, trying to find clues like what happened. And Max will end up in jail, like a crazy love story, and save him and try to find clues like what really happened. It's a really great movie, guys, and I really recommend it. This movie that I recommend is called Alive. So Alive is more like a drama film movie, more like Korean, if you guys are into those movies. It's more like a South Korean zombie film movie. Characters were really amazing. There was a virus and everyone started panicking, and you get bitten, you get affected, and it's just so crazy how it got spread so quickly. This guy, he lived on his own. He stays locked up in his apartment because he thinks that it will be more safe instead of going out the apartments. There was a young girl, and so he got tired. He was running out of food and water, electricity, I think, because he was on his computer a lot trying to figure out what's happening to the world, and he was watching TV. So he communicates with the young girl and across the building, find ways to get out of the apartment. They took a chance to try to escape without getting bitten or getting the virus. Really good movie, guys. I really recommend it. Next movie that I recommend is called After We Collided. It was about Tessa, who finds herself struggling with her complicated relationship with Hardin. Off and on, here and there, they broke up and then they get back together. It's just like a very complicated relationship, and then she goes through this new change of job, and Trevor looks like Trevor has a little crush of Tessa, but Tessa still has feelings, and you know, for Hardin, she can't get over him. Always arguments. They like, next thing you know, they love each other and get back together, and the next thing you know, it's just like all exploded. So Hardin slept with someone, but he made up a lie just to get her jealous. She won't forgive him and she don't believe him. So it's like, it's hard because Hardin made something really big lie that now that Tessa thinks that he cheated on her, it's like she don't believe him. The mother will help the son Hardin to go chase her and try to make things better, you know. It's a really good movie. It's so romantic. Good movie, guys, if you're into romantic. This movie that I recommend is called His House. Gosh, this movie is like so good and pretty scary, because when I was watching that movie, I thought that I was not going to be scared, but watching that movie at night, it was like freaking terrifying. So it's about two married couples. They escaped from this war torn South Sudan, and obviously they put them in this truck where they can get them in a safer place, get their visa so they can like work and be more established. They will start a new life in England. Apartment place, more like for they put them in this home place where for now they can stay there. They didn't like the apartment, the home they were living in, even though it was huge. They had no furniture, just very dirty. During the war, they were putting the truck with parents or family that have children, and the ones who don't have children, they have to stay and snatch the baby. But that child was actually snatched from the other mother. She wanted to go back, and the husband said, "This is perfect." Like something was wrong, you can tell. Spirits basically follow them. Happened in that war that I don't want to say, guys, because I don't want to spill out the tea. So there was something in that house, the devil house, his house, and it's trying to scare them. It's really good and I truly recommend it. The next movie that I recommend is called Freaks. It's like a scientific thriller movie. A girl named Chloe, she had some weird power. Father had kept Chloe locked up in the house for a very long time. Lived in fears, fascination. She wants to know when she can go out, when she can be able to explore, know the feeling of the air, the sun, and interact with people basically. She's just really curious about the world, but the father has always kept her locked up. He was tired. She wanted to just get out of the house. So she goes out and she realized like, oh, it's just very dangerous. Once she get outside, she gets injured. Like they will try to get her, these people. She's only 7, and she doesn't know much about the world surrounding them. So it's a really good movie, guys. I really recommend that one. The next movie that I recommend is called Black Mirror Bandersnatch. Oh, this movie is so good. It's about a young programmer who starts to question the reality of the world, that he adapts the Mad Riders into a video game. Stefan is like a smart programmer, technology dude with video games, and he will meet up with Colin and try to find ways to make a better game. It's more like a geek people where like they try to make the best video game, but it's just like, it's more like in the modern world but slash vintage. Really recommend it, guys. Next movie that I recommend is Molly Games. Molly Games is so good, guys. A young, beautiful, a class psycher who ran into the most exclusive high strikes poker game for decade before arresting in the middle of the night by a 17 FBI. Molly has some big issues where she owes money, and that she will find a way to pay back the money. Decided to do poker, you know, because that's what she's good at. Obviously, Molly's players included like Hollywood, royalty, and sports stars, business, and debt, basically. So she will find a way to get that money. More like the poker princess, basically, on this table, and is very ambitious, trying to be good at poker and try to make that money. It's like so much intention through this poker game, and Molly, she had the game, and I really recommend it. The next movie that I recommend is called All Together Now. Basically really sad though. Like, this movie made me cry. A young daughter named Amber, her mother Becky, knows that they were living in the bus, and that's where they sleep, that's where they eat, that's where they change. And this young, talented, beautiful teenager who kept this secret from her friends, from her classmates, her teacher. She lives in a bus, both homeless, the daughter, mother, who are living in just sad because what they go through, find ways to get a job, and the mom is not really trying hard enough to look for the house. They find out they will take her daughter away from her, and to lift the spirits up. And it does give that huge feeling. It feels real even when it isn't. Decided to stay with someone, and the secret truth knows, and they decided the daughter stay with her friend. So good movie, guys. It's very heartfelt. Like, the daughter feels more happy in school, she interacts with her friends, and she feels more happy, and then in the bus it's just a whole different mood. I really recommend that movie. So the next movie that I recommend is called I Am Mother. This movie is so really epic cool. So it's about the world, the future has changed, and then the whole robots, I don't know how the robots control the whole world, but it just there, basically. You imagine yourself in this future, unhurried pace, a teenage girl raised by a robot designed to repopulate the earth. Their bond has tested with a stranger, arrives with new alarming news. So many eggs in that place, I don't even know what to call it, track them weeks, you know, before they're reborn. The mother, who is the robot, raised daughter, school, she eats, she's healthy, you know, exercise and all that inside. Curious out there in the world, like, where other human, some more answers, like how come she doesn't have brothers or sisters. And so she picked an eggs where she as a brother and sister. It's bored, she's curious about the outdoor world, but the mother's saying it's dangerous out there, more robots out there. So they find her, they will kill her. Very like interesting movie because they're running away from the robots and controlling the whole world, you know. Once they see you, you're gone, basically. It's this woman stranger that she starts banging on the door and wants to get in. The mother takes her in, but she doesn't feel right of that woman. You know, movie, it's so interesting to watch. It's about like the future. I really recommend it. The next movie that I recommend is called The Secret Lives of Pets. Oh my gosh, that movie is so cute. I did watch the first part. The second part is on Netflix right now, so please watch that movie if you're into animals, the bunnies, the doggies, the cats. It's just like, oh my gosh, they're so cute, the characters. Adventures that the pets go through, like, you know, when their humans are not home, they just like do their thing, like, hey, let's have a party, oh my gosh, let's go on an adventure. Snowball is like my favorite character, actually. It's just like so funny. It's just like the things that they do. Humans leave out of the house, they explore, they bond with other pets and families that they love them, and so curious. Like once they're human, start going crazy, start doing little ventures with the other pets. They start bonding, start hanging out, doing their thing. It's just so cute. And then when they go to the vet, they're like so scared, because in real life dogs are really scared to go to the vet. I really recommend that movie. It's so adorable. Truly recommend it. You can watch it with your whole family. The last movie that I recommend is Case 39 movie. It's so good. It's more like an old movie, I'll say, about this lady who received a case from her boss, and this young girl who's basically being abused. Her grades are dropping, so it's like she goes out as a social worker, you know, tries to investigate like what's going on with the little girl, the girl's home, just to make sure how the environment is inside their home. The wife feels more scared. It's like she doesn't like being alone. Basically, she like her husband have to be there, and the mother and husband, they were scared of their own daughter. Their daughter is the devil. That's not their actual daughter. The rooms, the social worker looked around the house. Parents' room, she noticed that there were locks, you know, where they were able to lock their own room. There was like little scratches on the floor, so she was curious like why there's locks in the room. That one night, the parents tried killing her daughter, putting in the oven. They taped her, and that night they put her to sleep, give her a pill or something, and they were trying to kill her. But obviously the caseworker, she drove as fast as she can to save that girl, because she knew that girl was in danger. But I'm gonna pause there, because don't let that angel fool you, because my angel ain't no angel. They're like creepy that I just like, whoa, like you were not expecting that little girl to turn to something else. A really old film, guys, but I really recommend it. Pretty much it for my top 20 best movies to watch on Netflix, and talk about my top best TV shows to watch on Netflix. So the first TV show that I recommend is called Evil. Yo, Evil is like so good, guys. About this young skeptical psychologist, Kristen, to solve cases like David Costa, and who is training to be a Catholic priest. They go through cases, you know, like this evil. However, Kristen doesn't believe in that, but she thinks the prison guy was just kind of like crazy, like he needed some help. David said that he's has a devil. Kristen didn't believe in that, but however, she did lost her job during that hearing time. She joined David and his Catholic priest, and you know, they try to help people, releasing that spirit evil inside of them. Basically the devil, it's already with her. Like she would dream about the devil and it comes to reality. So good, because the mother will date that person who made her lose her job, basically. Kristen and David will in backlog, you know, try to save people from the devil, demonic possessions, and there are extraordinary occurrences that happen through people's home, and they try to save them, basically. Dr. Leland dates Kristen's mother, Shirley. Dr. Leland, he's pretty evil. He comes in the home and he gives them the red journals to their daughter, and is the evil. He's trying to protect her family, but obviously her mother's like, you don't want me to be happy. It's like so good, guys. Like Kristen will do anything to protect her family. It's just so good, and I really recommend it, guys. The next TV show that I recommend is called Good Girls. Let me tell you something, Good Girls is such a good TV show. I'm like so hooked up. Girls, it's more like a crime TV show where sister Beth and Annie and their best friend Ruby become fed up with playing by the rules of not getting respect as they deserve. They work together to make control of their lives, to be better, to get that money. Holding up by a local grocery store. So they were tired that there's never money in the house. Ruby was struggling with her daughter's medical condition where she doesn't have money to cure for her and like give her the medication that she needs, but it's just so expensive. Annie, who boyfriend tries to take her daughter away from her so she doesn't have the money for a lawyer. Beth, she lives in a really nice home, but her husband is cheating on her. They're going through bankruptcy, like they're overdue their mortgage, bills, everything. Gang up basically, and they rob the grocery store. It's how crazy it is. Like they robbed the grocery store where Annie works at. You won't suspect, but obviously Annie had a huge tattoo behind her back. That's when the manager noticed that that is Annie. Like little did they know that they took the money away from these drug dealer. Desperate, like need of money, it pulled deeper than they imagine. Only way of out is this: they have to be together and to work this and how to stop this. Rio, who is the dealer, one of those people that guess drug dealer, I don't know, he makes fake money basically, the money of the grocery store, because I guess they own that zone area. I'm not so sure how that works. He wants his money back or they will get killed. Really good show, guys, and I really recommend it. Third TV show that I recommend is called Schitt's Creek. Oh my god, that TV show is so good. Basically, it's about a family lost everything, takes everything what they own. Maura, she starts crying. Beautiful home and their items, so they try to take the things that they can, like their clothes. She takes her wigs, obviously. Alexis and David were crying because David has never worked in his life. Completely broke, got no money, nowhere to go, with only one remaining asset that David made in bed. They bought this town a while back as a joke. That was their only option to go in that town, Schitt's Creek. At least they have somewhere to go, and they're living in a hotel. Just really sad because, you know, they lived in a really huge mansion. Now they lived in a small town. Like a TV show. It's like so sad at the same time. You know, Alexis gets a job. David, he tried his hard to open up a store, met someone that he truly loves, and they're all in together. It's a really good TV show, guys. Really recommend it. The next TV show that I recommend is called The Queens Gambit. Oh my gosh, this TV show is so good, guys. It's about Beth Harmon, who basically lost her mom. She ended up in the orphan when she was little. She met this janitor guy. To go in there, she met the janitor there, and the janitor was playing chess, and she asked him, what is that, how do you play? And she was asking a bunch of questions. You want to learn how to play, and he said it's for guys only to play chess. So she was curious learning about the chess, learn about it. The janitor showed her how to play. She became so obsessed with that chess. Beth struggles with an addiction. I'm the greatest chess player in the world. So green pills that they will give orphans, the young girls, save those on the side so she can take those, because I guess it helps her how to play the chessboard and tricks to learn. I guess her imagination kind of gives her a little loopy. Green pills help her to be a great chess. So they stopped giving her because she got older, because she tried to break in the nurse office to take the pills, broken, and she dropped the pill jar and she fainted. Now she gets adopted by other family. Adopted father, he wasn't really happy. The mother wanted a child, she couldn't have children, so they adopted her. That mother will help her like to become the greatest chess. It's just really good TV show, guys. I really recommend it. It's funny how it will do anything to be the greatest player and to be on the top of the best players. The next TV show that I recommend is called Home for Christmas. It's about a daughter who is coming home for Christmas, no boyfriend, and their family were wondering, when are you gonna have a boyfriend? Family just comments. Joanne, her relationship status, and it starts 24-day boyfriend, and she's the only one without someone misjudge her, lead her, and all that. So she told him that she has a boyfriend. She only has 24 days to find the right person to bring home for Christmas. She goes on a date, it's just don't turn out great. On a hunt to find that perfect match. Very smart, funny, and well-written show. Really recommend that TV show. Super good to watch. The next TV show that I recommend is called Ratchet. This TV show, it's so amazing. It's about a young nurse at a mental institution before turning a full and flooded monster to her patient. So Nurse Ratchet, to get hired in this institution, she wants to work really bad. Get hired in a hospital, so it's like in the 1947 a rise in Northern California, get a job in the mental institution where she wants to work, leading a psychiatrist hospital. She wants to work there to be the most dedicated nurse and to be there to help the patients. Notice that there's something dark in that place. It's growing, it's revealing the truth. The monsters are not there, but it's like she's feeling something, she noticed something. Really good show, guys. I really recommend it. The next TV show that I recommend is Emily in Paris, about a young girl, Emily, Chicago marketing to provide an American perspective at a marketing firm in Paris. Social media influence, basically. It's a job in Paris. However, her boss was basically supposed to go to Paris, but obviously something happened at her place. However, they needed someone who speak French. Emily don't know French at all. So, like, the workers did not like interacting with her. Sylvie did not really like Emily. She is the main boss in the firm. Andy kind of helped her just to feel welcome in Paris, get to know Paris a little. A roommate named Gabrielle and a little crush, and they had their little moment. Had a girlfriend. Well, they broke up, Camille. So now Emily and Camille became friends. Their relationship with Gabrielle kind of awkward. Really fun adventure. It's more like Sex and the City, but it's such a good TV show, guys. I really recommend it. The next TV show that I recommend is called Sweet Home. Sweet Home is a really kind of interesting TV show to watch, guys. I'm gonna even go with their names because I cannot pronounce. There's something about that place that is just not safe. An evil, something happening. It's basically a virus where humans turn into a savage monsters. They have to be safe. They have to keep the doors locked. Like, the next thing you know is everyone was fine, turn into something monsters. One troubled teenager, which is the one I mentioned, to survive, and they stay locked up in this building apartments. They stay inside. They try not to go out there because there's something evil definitely kill you and stuck you in. Korean horror TV show, twisted zombie kind of theme. The way they acted in the TV show, it's really good. And the zombies or whatever, those monsters are like so creepy. They try to survive and, you know, try to defend themselves. So it's really good, guys. I really recommend it. So the next TV show that I recommend is called Away. It's about Emma Green, who embarks on a mission to Mars in command of an international crew. Leaving behind her husband and her daughter, she wasn't too sure if she wanted to go, but she wanted to talk to her husband and daughter. The daughter, you can tell she wasn't okay. She needed her mother, but obviously she's proud of what her mom do, like her job. Matt Logan and Alexis Logan, they were proud of her, so they told her they were fine, she can go. However, she can't come back because she have to complete her mission. So there's no way going back. So that's why she wanted to talk to her husband, her daughter. Are you guys okay? Are you guys sure that you guys would do fine without me? And obviously they say yes. There was so many drama going on with Ram, with Whiskey goes in charge, but then something happened to husband and then her daughter. So she doesn't feel comfortable in the ship and she wanted to go back, so she wasn't well. Obviously so many things happen. So I really recommend it, guys. It's such a good good show. Next TV show that I recommend is called Dare Me. Oh my gosh, guys, I just finished watching that show. Like, it's about violated female friendship, jealousy, loyalty, dynamics of power in a small midwestern town. The two best friends, Beth and Addie, till they get a new coach for a cheerleader. Coach French to this town because of her husband for better jobs, to coach for the cheerleaders in school for the girls, and she is like one of the greatest coach, like tries to get them internationals, regionals, and she will work hard to train those cheerleaders. There was a little tension with Addie and Coach French, so they became really close, and Addie and Beth, they became very distant just because Addie has been so close to Coach French. Dream with the young woman willing to endure to get ahead on the game, and it's just so crazy. One of the Sarge had a relationship. French was married, she has a child. She kept that secret from Sarge William. Will didn't know that Coach had a daughter in a really bad position. However, the show is so good. It gets very deep. One of the young girls, Beth, and she had a really traumatized with that what just happened, and she hates remembering. She took pictures what happened to her, what she's going through, and Addie wasn't there because she's spending more time with Coach relationship, I guess. Interesting, and I really recommend it, guys. The next TV show that I recommend is called The Grand Army. This show is so good, guys. There's 5 students in the largest public high school in Brooklyn. Chaotic world as they fight to succeed and survive and break and free and seize the future. Joey, Dominique, Leah, Jackson, and there's some more characters. It's very emotional and raw in this show. Feel the empathetic pain that all these students are going through. Real. I didn't feel like I was like watching characters, but I felt like it was more like real because it happens in real life, you know, what high school students go through, especially for Joey. Goes through a very hard moment, and you know, she would hang out with a bunch of guys and they were drunk that time in a cab. What happened in the cab where they were touching her, kissing her, and she didn't want that, but she was drunk. She couldn't do anything. The cab guy didn't do anything. He was just watching because she basically wanted that, but she was drunk. She didn't know. So she has this flashback in her head that she was abused, raped by them. No one believed her because they see her as a slut. She likes that attention. She likes that stuff. Leah, she wants to be like the most popular girl, more like Joey. She wants that attention from the guys, from all the students. It's just every student has their own character and they're going through something. Really recommend that TV show, guys. Next TV show that I recommend is called Northern Rescue. It's about a father named John West. He lost his wife, medical condition. John West has 3 children and decided that it's best for the family to move to Boston and to a rural hometown of the Turtle Island Bay. So they live in this weird little tourist Turtle Island Bay. That really affect the whole family. They're trying to cope with their loss and they face a situation challenge professionally, dealing with their kids as teenagers and including school and friendships and all that. Madeline and Taylor and Scott are going through a really harsh time. Charlie, who's the mother sister, she's there to help them and you know try to help the kids, and John and you know with the kids and while he works and dealing with a lot of grief. However, they're doing their best, and it's drama TV show that family faces a dramatic time, and really recommend it. The next TV show that I recommend is Healing Powers of Dude. Oh my gosh, this TV show is so good, especially the little dog. His name is Dude. It's about an 11-year-old boy who has really bad anxiety socializing with the world, especially with school. So he has this really bad anxiety disorder with socializing around in public, in school, and with people in general. He starts middle school. He starts his first day in middle school, but it just turns out really, really bad. He was scared, he gets anxiety, and he's finished one day. So he will end up going in school, and then next thing you know, he would go home, get called by his parents to pick him up. He couldn't survive, so he went on the next day, complete his first day of school, but that never happens. So they decided to get him a dog, supposedly help him to not have that anxiety, fear of people or interacting with students and public and socializing. Basically, the dog named Dude helped him really good socialize with people, and anxiety got lower. Very like a family TV show, super friendly for kids to watch. Next TV show that I recommend is called Unbelievable. It's about a young girl who reports rape in her own place. So she reports it to the police. However, don't find any fingerprints, nothing when the cops went to her apartment. Cops think that Mary, the young girl, was lying to the cops, like she made this story up because they couldn't find no blood, no knives, no weapons, nothing. So her apartment was very clean. However, she knows that she was raped because she can see the flashback. Even to Amber, she reported the same problem too. They were confused, like, how is this happening? Like, same scene, they were breaking. However, the windows weren't broken, the door wasn't smashed or anything. I think that the girls were lying. The two females detectives follow in evidence that they cannot be revealed the truth based on the true story. It's really interesting because I feel like they don't believe them, like they were raped, but they think that they're lying about the rape, but they're not. So it's a really good show, guys. I really recommend it. The next TV show that I recommend is called The Hunting of Billy Manor. Oh my god, that TV show is so good. If you guys watched the first one, you guys are going to love the second. About a young governess arrives at Manor, begins to see a hunting in that place. Danny Clayton, Jamie, kind of goes flashback to the Hunting of Hill's house. After an tragic death, Ernie hires a young American nanny to take care of his orphan niece and nephew. So the nanny will take care of them in this huge mansion house who resides on the Bell Manor with the chef Owen, the housekeeper named Jamie, and the housekeeper named Miss Gross. And she will take care of them. However, she will see things. It's just really creepy and flashbacks from back then, and like a ghost in it. It's just very interesting to watch. Niece and nephew, they will like see things, and the nanny will like try her best because she gets a job to become a nanny to get good paying just to live in the house and take care of two children. So it's a really good show, guys. I really recommend it. The final TV show that I recommend is called Dark. It's more like a mysterious TV show when two children go missing. A very small German town, a sinful past that exposed along with double lives and fractured relationship that exists. Family as they search for their kids. The mystery drama. This basically puzzle up and filled with twisted throughout this TV. Lisa, Mark, and there's some other characters. It's very unexpected but tied with the story so well together. The cast and the scenes between different characters dynamic is so good. Such a great show. I really recommend it. That's pretty much it for my top TV shows and movies to watch on Netflix. So comment down below, what is your favorite TV show and movie to watch on Netflix that I have not watched yet. I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye guys.